What's up, Beta Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. My name is Fareed. As a part of today's video, I'm going to be sitting down with two key contributors to the Cornucopias' Knights Guild to chat about number one, what has changed since my last update with this team, but the number two, surrounding an anticipated NFT sale. Without any further ado, let me bring up a fellow collaborator and Knights Guild member, Josh from Late Game Crypto. Josh, welcome aboard. How are you?
Hello, hello. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We collaborate here plenty. I don't think that you need an introduction. If you guys aren't already following Josh on his channel, make sure to go ahead and do so. I'll go and leave the links to that down below. And of course, all the material surrounding not just today's chat, but just also Cornucopias and Knights Guild. Next, we've got John, who actually I had the pleasure of meeting. This was, I believe, in Vegas for CNFT Con or NFT LV for the second time. So, John, welcome aboard. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So the Knights Guild has evolved. Obviously, so has Cornucopias. I just had Rob, Greg, and Josh Jones on the channel here not too long ago to just dive a little bit deeper into what has changed and what we can expect, right? They're now going multi-chain with their file node sale taking place on ETH. We've got new builds coming out, etc. Can you guys maybe just take a second to explain, number one, what the Knights Guild is for anybody who hasn't heard of the Knights Guild? But then number two, what has changed from that perspective as well over the course of the last couple of months?
Yeah. So the Knights Guild is the largest Cornucopias guild in the community. It's close. You know, we've got our rival guild, the Corn Mafia, that we're very friendly with, that we get along with. But we're very neck and neck with those guys, and it's been a fun ride. Sort of like competing with them, definitely in the friendly way. So we're there. We're just a group of people that is passionate about what Cornucopias is building, the direction that they're headed, and the infrastructure that they're building behind a fascinatingly large metaverse game. And we're there prepared to build within it, build with a team, with a community that is wanting to contribute value to it and be a part of it all. That's what the Knights Guild is.
Yeah, can you maybe also just touch on just some of your experience, right? So you're obviously a content creator, Josh. You create a lot of content just surrounding all the projects building here on Cardano. How has your experience been, contributing and being able to leverage your content creation skills for something like the Knights Guild?
Yeah, so it's been a wild ride. I've been with them for a couple of years now, and we've been building and developing a lot of stuff. It's great being with a team, with a community that is just as passionate about this game as I am. And it's been really fun having discussions with these people about things that we can do, things that we can build. We've got a great team, a fantastic creative group that has a bunch of different backgrounds of expertise that can contribute to this whole world that we're building, and that the team, it's really exciting as a content creator, and that's why it's been a very exciting time for me in the development of Cornucopias, is because we have gameplay now. I've been streaming Cornucopias gameplay on my profile on X. I've created my own separate gaming channel to help to contribute to visibility of Cornucopias just from a gaming perspective, so that we can get out there and reach people that are just interested in gaming, that might not be interested in blockchain, Web3, NFTs, tokens, or any of that. They just want to see a high quality revolutionary game that's being developed, and we can help to showcase that. That's one of the big things why we brought John on, who's a very talented videographer who's been out there with me on the ground covering a lot of the things, and interacting with the team, and showcasing the direction that Cornucopias is going. So that's been one of the like most fun parts for me, is watching it in real time develop, covering it in real life, and being able to display that, like, no, there's something real and tangible being built here, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think there's a lot being built here. If anybody hasn't heard of Cornucopias here and that's watching this channel, I'll be highly surprised just because of the fact that I cover them as well. But definitely make sure to go ahead and head over to their official website, which is available at cornucopias.io to find about the game. And if you guys want to find out more about the Knights Guild, you can head over to the official website, which has just gotten a facelift here, and that's available at knightsguild.co. As always, check out the show notes down below. Now, I think that's going to give us just a quick segment, right, to maybe highlight John here as well. So, Josh, you're in front of the camera. John is typically behind the camera. Like I mentioned earlier, I got to see the both of you guys in Vegas not too long ago, and you guys were running and gunning, grabbing content, highlighting Cornucopias, everything to that extent. John, for anybody who's seeing you here for the first time, again, because you're so used to being behind the camera, give us a little bit about yourself, how you came into Cornucopias and how you're able to contribute with respect to your creative skills.
Well, how I got into Cornucopias, it's a long time ago. Was it 2021? I think, like everybody, quite early. And I found out of the Knights Guild quite early too. So I went into the Knights Guild and been quite not very active for a while. But as soon as I saw Cornucopias has a big vision, I got more active. And I got to meet also Moody, and then I heard from Moody that the Knights Guild, what vision they have, and also about the charity idea. I was directly hooked, right? Because this is something what I'm doing privately. I'm volunteering as a cameraman way often. I would say all over the world, but mainly in Africa. I mean, this is also my main job. In Germany, I'm working for industry and TV, but in Africa, I'm very often on the ground for charities. So yeah, it was just coincidentally. The night said we want to do some charity, and I was like, okay, I can come up with many ideas. And yeah, we decided to do a project. Maybe later more about that.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction there. I do want to just quickly highlight Moody, huge contributor to the Knights Guild, obviously left us a little too soon. I recall actually having a sit down in an interview with him, probably I would say a week or two before his passing. And that really hit me hard. I remember Josh, holding me up after one of our live streams and letting me know the news. And that was just a huge blow, I think, obviously, for his personal family, but also for the Cornucopias community. So just want to take a moment to shout out Moody here for all his contributions. He was extremely active, very passionate. You could tell, from my prior interviews with him. And so, I wish you guys all the best. Hopefully you guys are doing better. And, obviously wish his family peace, strength, and just, just wish them the best. That's, I think, the least I can say there. So let's keep the conversation moving along. Obviously, the Knights Guild has continued to grow in the time since. When I did have Moody on, we chatted about some pretty big NFT sales. One of them was actually, I think, surrounding the gauntlet and the helmet. So if I jump over to the official Knights Guild website again, what I'm now seeing, I believe, is an upcoming sale for what is called the Breastplate. There appears to be a whitelist price for 50 ADA and a public price for 55 ADA. Maybe turn it back over to Josh. Can you explain, number one, some of the sort of history, right, with the actual guild set? Maybe just kind of recapping what we previously discussed in my other videos, but then also jump into what's expected with the, I believe, is the final sale, right, for the entire kit here for the Knights Guild NFTs.
Yeah, no, actually. So we're in this series that is our long-term vision of what we're trying to build. It's called the Full Knight NFT Series, and we're minting all of these different little elements of our NFTs, and they're going to be combined into like this big mega NFT that we're calling the Full Knight NFT. So this next one that we're doing, we'll talk about the Breastplate in a sec, is the 5th installment of a series of about 12 to 14 NFTs that we're going to be minting in order to build this full Knight NFT, to build like a full suit of armor. That's the end goal of it. The Full Knight NFT series, it was an idea that was formulated and architected by Moody before his passing, and he had this idea to have these different elements represent different parts of the Knights Guild, different parts of like what we're doing and who we are. So they each represent different asset classes of Cornucopias. They represent the shields, for example, represent land NFTs. The gauntlets also represent another round of land NFTs that we acquired, which has made us the biggest asset holder of Cornucopias land in all of Cornucopias. The swords represent custom domes, and the helmets represent Kopi tokens. In the future, we'll probably have some that represent different kinds of assets. If they do other land mints in the foreseeable future, we might do some of that. Or if we when they do the Atmos Skyrunner NFT mint, which is supposed to be a vehicle that's supposed to be for carrying cargo. It's designed to carry resources from one place to another within this massive Cornucopias universe that's being built. So we've got all these ideas of things that we want to do, but ultimately each asset represents a different part of the Knights Guild. Once we mint the full Knight NFT, that will represent all of it. It'll be like a combined effort of everything. And those full Knight NFTs give you fractional ownership of everything that the Knights Guild is doing, which means that you're entitled to revenue that is generated from the Knights Guild in these different various in-game businesses that are being developed. We think that with what Cornucopias is building, it creates an opportunity for different kinds of businesses to manifest themselves. And there'll be different ways that can be generated revenue. With all of this land that we have, we could do advertisements for different companies. We could produce resources, and those resources also enable you to be able to sort of build NFTs for Cornucopias that Cornucopias will then sell, and then you get revenue from the NFTs. It's just another way that revenue can be generated. So we see a lot of potential in a long-term future, and we're preparing for it. That this is what the Full Knight series is all about. And if you own one of each of these NFTs, you'll be able to combine them all at the end of it to what we call the Mythic Rarity NFT, the Full Knight NFT. And that'll give you the biggest bonus in terms of the revenue that is generated. But you don't have to own all of the NFTs, which is good because our NFTs have performed extraordinarily well on the secondary markets. Some of them have like 4x'd upon the minted price, and the Shield NFT, which is the scarcest, most rare one, I think is sitting somewhere north of 800, 900 ADA at the moment. So there's a barrier to entry because of the demand for these NFTs. They're expensive. It's okay. You don't have to own all of them in order to get a Full Knight NFT. If you don't have the Shield, for example, then like you'll still be able to mint a Full Knight NFT of a lesser rarity, and you'll still get a bonus of everything that the Knights Guild does. But ultimately, this is a long-term vision for us. At whatever point somebody gets involved and gets plugged in, they can start collecting at that point, and they can start building towards a Full Knight NFT, whether it's a mythic rarity one or not. So this is our flagship product. That's like in the end goal of it all. This is the long-term vision, and yeah, we've been building to this for years now, and we're extremely excited about it.
I've got to give kudos to whoever's designing the actual NFT artwork. Extremely high quality. See, it's all branded with the Knights Guild, and it's all extremely uniform, right? So, again, shout out and kudos. And for anybody, again, who wants to find out more, check out the links down below just to join the Knights Guild, and then obviously check out their official website. One thing I want to...
You shouted out the artist, and that's actually something that Legend, who is a co-founder of the Order of the Kraken, one of the many companies that in Web3 that we have networked with and connected with in our time in this space. That networking has led to being able to connect with more talent. And Legend is our dedicated artist that has gone through and upgraded all of the art of our previous NFTs and is going to be the dedicated artist for all of the NFTs into the future. So that's one of the ways that, like, the Knights Guild is evolving, is really putting out quality artwork and quality ideas and thoughts and things into the community. So shout out to Legend. We appreciate you.
Yeah, it definitely shows. Shout out, as you mentioned, to Legend. Let's maybe just kind of shift into the actual details of the actual mint, right? So I highlighted, I think, the cost, the whitelist, etc. Can you maybe just kind of break down everything else that we have with respect to this upcoming mint?
Absolutely. Yeah. So this mint is going to be a little bit different than some of the previous ones that we've done. It's a breastplate NFT, which it's going to be minting on February 29th, as you can see on the image here. And unlike previous NFT mints that we have done, we have collaborated with a lot of reputable businesses in the ecosystem. We've got Mav100 that's really well connected with the world mobile community. We've got a Noom that has contributed 100,000 Noom tokens to the raffle that's going to happen at the end of this NFT mint. Cornucopias themselves has contributed a couple of land plots, and the Knights Guild obviously is contributing some of our NFTs as well. And we've got projects out there. We're close partners with Bangercoin and Order of the Kraken and Psycho's NFT, Raccoon NFTs. There's a lot of different projects that have participated in this, and it's provided us with over 30 different prizes to be able to raffle off to people that mint and hold this NFT until after the mint takes place, and we'll raffle off all of those prizes, and if you hold one of those, then you'll be entered to win. That's one of the perks here. These companies, we've talked with them, and they're all excited and enthusiastic. They're ideologically aligned with what it is that we're trying to do here, and they're excited about how well the Knights Guild has been doing and what we've been able to develop in this sort of technological ecosystem that we are developing around all of the NFTs that we mint. We're building out a lot of things that are supposed to be complementary to Cornucopias that will involve pulling game data from the game and creating opportunities for competition and displaying that in content that we create alongside with John. This mint has put us in a position to be able to partner with companies outside of Web3 and organizations out there, so that we can get out there and make a more real world impact and do something beyond Web3 that's greater than ourselves. And that's one of the big things why I wanted to bring John in here, because John is somebody who has done a lot of charity work in his own time. John is out there, boots on the ground, that's actually like interacting with these different areas of the world that are in need. John is somebody that Moody really connected with and brought him in because he's a talented videographer and he's well connected in the realm of charity work. So I wanted to bring him on and have him introduce himself to you all and talk about what it is that he does in the world.
So you mentioned a real world impact, and I think again this is where John kind of shines. So John, I'll turn it over to you in just a second to kind of speak about some of the additional impacts that the contributions of the sale, right, or this mint will be going towards. And so with that, again, Josh, I think, has done a really great job of highlighting the impact for the participants, the impact for the Cornucopias game, the impact for, the guild. But I think one of the bigger pieces here is exactly as what Josh mentioned, what John was brought in for. So, John, we discussed not necessarily playing the intro of this upcoming clip. I will insist here that actually show it, I think, for a perspective sort of view. It helps the viewers understand where this is actually going to have an impact. But I'll turn it over to you now to sort of just highlight, what else is being done with the contributions from this upcoming mint.
Yes, so after we decided we want to do something for the unprivileged people, in this case, kids, and because of my connection to Sierra Leone and already way connected to some NGOs over there, we decided to choose a village in a really, really remote area. That village lives in a rainforest, and they have built on their own this building what you just can see. It's like a 3-room building for more than 120 kids. And 120 kids in 3 rooms. Normally it would be 6 rooms, class 1 to 6. That kids have no support from the Sierra Leone government because they are so far away. They have no school material. Only half of their teachers are really proper teachers. The other half, like 3 people, are others. So they learned on their own how to teach. So the interesting thing is, I know that we as a Knight Guild want to do something for education. And coincidentally, I was again in Sierra Leone last year around March, and we were visiting some projects, also schools. And then there was one guy who said, I know a school in a village in the middle of the forest. You want to see it? So it was not on our plan. So we went there after 1.5 hours drive and off-road, really off-road. And we found that building, what you just see in this video. And the village is maybe 1 kilometer away. And I thought, well, if that is not a school for the Knights, then I don't know. Here you can see me running back to the village with some of the kids after the school. This is just the perfect coincidence for us because that kids have no support from the government. So that local NGO with support of the German NGO have decided to support them with school materials and educate the teachers. And I actually asked directly, what do you guys think of building a school if I may have a community who would fund that? And they said, well, if you think we would love to have a school here to build that, we would monitoring it. We would do everything what we can with our own funding and manpower to do it, but we don't have the funding at the moment. So this is where the Knights step in now. And we are really, totally into that. And this makes me really proud to be part of the Knights actually also.
Nicely put. Makes me extremely happy to be part of a group or a community that is trying to, again, just have a bigger impact than just within the crypto and Web3 space. Of course, a lot of people that come into the space are just somewhat in a bubble, and I don't blame them. You know, that's just life at the end of the day. But the fact that you guys are taking it upon yourselves to do some outreach, especially with a community that you've already established a connection with, I think this is huge, right? And so I'll definitely be making sure to participate. And just even outside of the actual sale, you know, if anybody who's watching this has it in their heart to, you know, do something that is bigger than themselves, reach out to Josh, reach out to John. Again, I'll leave the links to how you guys can get in contact with them to really make this vision come through. So I definitely look forward to seeing, number one, you know, how this goes, but the number two, even checking back in, you know, a year, 6 months from now to see, you know, and get you guys back on here for an update. I think, again, this is what blockchain is for. And even Cardano speaking, you know, they have a huge mission and a huge sort of reach with one of those areas being Africa, trying to help bank the unbanked, you know, trying to bring some of these digital identity solutions to these platforms that don't have it, where, you know, people are kind of going under the radar, you know, so to be able to utilize this tech, be able to utilize what we already know and what we're doing here to help others, I think is all part of the mission. So thank you again, John, for taking that torch. And again, you know, I know Moody's not here, but he would be extremely happy to see you doing what you're doing. So thank you for that. As we are getting ready to wrap up, I'd like to turn it over to the both of you. Just maybe give us some closing comments, right? So maybe we start off with Josh and then John will end off with you. Anything that you want to share with the community with respect to the Knights Guild, Cornucopias, what you do from a content creator's perspective, or just the upcoming sale?
Yeah. You know, I just it's conversations like this that really bring me back to like why I'm so proud to be a Knight. I'm proud to be a part of this community, that because of the creative minds behind, you know, what we have developed thus far, we're able to do this, you know, without compromising on what we plan on contributing to the community. We're able to at the same time be able to continue on our series and keep building towards what we're building, provide value to our community and opportunities for people to be able to share in the revenue that we're generating, and also make that real world impact on the world and build schools for kids in the world that are neglected and overlooked and are in need. That this is just one of the parts that what the Knights stand for. Is we're here and enthusiastic about technology and the metaverse and the future of cornucopias, but we're also wanting to remember the real world, where there are people that are in need, and do something to help with that. So that's it.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely excited for the metaverse, but we can't get too caught up in it and forget that at the end of the day, we still have to operate in the real physical world. John, over to you for closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Well, the whole thing has happened on the Cardano chain and because of the Knights. I love to do impact and using my skills. This is why I'm also involved in other projects in the Cardano ecosystem. The interesting thing, maybe one nice side story, is that NGO has nothing to do before with blockchain and crypto. I haven't make notes about how many hours that NGO and how many people had to get involved to get crypto accepted for donations. But it was many days, many hours, more than 15 people in that NGO being involved to get the KYC done with a SEX, a centralized exchange. And that is crazy. And this is what I actually love. We're making not only impact for that kids on the ground, we're also getting people into the blockchain and Cardano. So that NGO said, well, we want an account then because you guys funding that school, but we will keep it open for other people who want to donate maybe crypto to projects. So this was actually getting an NGO into it. And like I said, more than 15 or 16 people had to do KYC in that NGO so that they get registered. Yeah, I just want to say, inclusion, right? It starts from the beginning, even in countries like in Germany or Sierra Leone.
Yeah, and no, you're welcome. Thank you for, again, taking that upon yourself to, as you mentioned, number one, get an NGO involved with crypto. I'd love to see more. And maybe you're sort of that link now, right? Now that you had the experience of explaining it, helping one NGO do it, maybe onboarding others once they begin to see the benefit, and also the additional reach and opportunities, right, that it gives them. Because again, maybe they've only been able to raise funds through certain mechanisms, but now with blockchain technology and what you guys are doing here with this mint, you guys are able to show them a brand new opportunity and a brand new way to kind of push their vision forward. And then number two, the actual impact directly, in Sierra Leone with the community that you've been literally, as Josh mentioned earlier, on the ground with. So we wish you the best, John. Again, thank you for carrying the torch, carrying the mantle. Josh, thank you for connecting us and making this happen here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming Knights Guild Breastplate sale. I'll go and leave the links to that down below. If you guys just want to find out more about the Knights Guild overall, please go ahead and check out the description down below. I want to take a second to thank the both of these gentlemen again for joining me as a part of this update. As always, if you guys found today's video to be helpful or insightful in any way, shape, or form, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central and you want more content like this, highlighting all the builders in Cardano, consider subscribing. And last but definitely not least, if you have any questions for me, Josh, or John surrounding Cornucopias, their upcoming Breastplate sale, or the Knights Guild, then make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, we'll catch you guys in the next video.